What the fuck does my morning ritual matter to you? You know, I could be 30 years older than you. You know, my morning ritual is just 3 hours of trying to get the shit out of my ass because I can't take enough fiber to get it all out in one dump. So you want to do my morning ritual?
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky.
There's a couple questions in regards to, you know, life balance, I guess is what it is. You know, how I balance training, business, kids, life, you know, all that. And there's no rules. I can't come up with rules with that. I mean, there's some times, and there's going to be some times in your life where you're just not going to be able to train because of, you know, health or whatever reasons it is. So, and that sucks because training should always, training for me is always, it has to be a staple because for me to be able to cope and to deal with the other things, I need to be healthy, you know, and for me to be healthy, I need to be training to be healthy because if I'm not healthy, I'm not good for anyone. I'm not good in any position at all. So, and then if it becomes to a point where a hip's replaced or something like that, and I get into a position where I'm not healthy, then that's removed. You think, oh great, now I have more time to devote to all these other things, but you really don't because you're not in a healthy state to be able to devote the right mindset that you need to all those other things. So training to me is always going to be a high priority. It may not be the first priority, but it's got to be a high enough priority for me to be able to take care of those higher priorities. The other thing when it comes to this, and I'm just going to condense it down because it kind of gets so overplayed so often, and I'm just going to say most people just suck at time management. It's as simple as what it is. They just suck at time management and they suck at prioritizing what they have to do. So if you can get done, if you can make a list of a few things each day that have to get done to move you forward as a person, you know, in business, for your job or life, whatever it is, just 3 big things that you have to do, and then you just do those 3 things, then you're going to move forward. But understand, most people don't even do that. They get caught up in all the other little shit, so they never get a chance to chip away at those bigger things. And you don't need big chunks to chip away at whatever those bigger things. They're going to be different for each person. You know, for me in business, sometimes they're big projects. They're giant projects that are going to take a long period of time. So there may be some days where all I do is look at it, but I got to do something with it every day because it's one of the top 3 things on my list. So if I don't even look at it, then I kind of failed for that day. Now, other days I'm going to be able to put more time into whatever that is to be able to move forward. So when it comes to this balance thing, there is no such thing as balance. So everything's always going to be out of balance. That's life. You know, that's as easy as I can make it. Once things start to feel like a complete train wreck, then check your values, because maybe something you're doing isn't really correlating with your core values very well. And then after that, check the bullshit. You know, check how much time you're spending doing stupid shit that you really don't need to spend. Just to give you an example, just do a Google search for the average amount of time I don't know how you would search it. The average amount of time the average person spends on Facebook per day. Just Google that and you'll be fucking shocked, because the first thing you're going to say, oh, that's not me. But what I'm going to ask you to do is to think, well, is it? Because people spend a shit ton of time doing things that aren't really helping them move forward and the things that are truly important to them, because they're looking for distractions to keep them away from that, because distractions are easier than the work that you really need to do to move forward. I'm not saying that Facebook's bad and that it's ruining everybody and all this other kind of stuff. Before that, it was TV. You know, I'm sure before that it was radio. There's always been distractions. You know, we're human beings. We come up with distractions just so we don't have to do shit, because that's what we do. You know, Netflix is a huge distraction, and I use the shit out of that. Sometimes we need distractions just to get the fuck out of our own life for a little while to be able to come back and perform the way that we need to perform with the most important things. So all I'm going to say there is look at your time management. Don't look so much at what other people do. Don't look at what's your morning rituals or some of these other questions I've had to ask over the years. What the fuck does my morning ritual matter to you? You know, I could be 30 years older than you. You know, my morning ritual is just 3 hours of trying to get the shit out of my ass because I can't take enough fiber to get it all out in one dump. So you want to do my morning ritual? You know, spend 2 hours going back and forth from the shitter trying to get your, you know, it's figure out what works for you. But look at the time management because that's usually where the biggest issue is.